So here's the latest topic that has the Negroes losing their minds to social media. Should black women respect black men? And when I saw this being spoken about, I said, you know what? How about this? Because nobody's going to ask this question except for me. Should black men respect black women? You know, I like to turn things around on the trolls. Since they want to ask stupid questions like that. Okay, well, we all know that black American women don't generally respect black men because, well, they don't have to. There's going to be no repercussions for their actions if they don't. Therefore, black women will pretty much, black women are like loser white Republican men. They will troll you to the day that either you die or they die just because they can. Like how there's like different groups of like conservative white male trolls who get together online. They teach each other how to troll, and they're like, look, make this account and use this type of name, this type of picture, pose as a black person online. Like literally there's like articles that they write for each other to teach each other how to troll, just how to just cause dissension just because they can. And they're also trolls off the internet as well, in just regular everyday life, as well as a lot of black American women, black American females, because even the younger ones who aren't even, full grown adults are trolls in real life as well. It's a shame, but it's the truth. Okay. But anyways, I'm going to run down the top 5 reasons why black men should not respect black women. Since a lot of black women are saying that, you guys don't have to respect us. And in fact, I have a bonus outside of the top 5 that I'm going to start it off with. RESPECT. Find out what it means to me. Black women will basically very often demand respect and say that, everybody should respect them, particularly black men, because they think that black men owe them something or whatever. And, at the end of the day, they don't feel that they have to give respect back. They say respect is earned, not given. They also say if you want to get respect, you must give respect. Black women apparently think they can bypass those rules because they like to have their cake and eat it too. And they don't believe in rules. Very often, black American women believe that they can just do whatever they want. Because, like Sheree Whitfield said, who gonna check me, boo? Who is gonna make me pay a price for my bad actions? So there's 5 things that I came up with, and there were some other ones, but I left them out. But I'm going to run down the top 5 things, the top 5 reasons why black men should not respect black women. Now, of course, I'm talking about people from America. Okay. Now, outside of America, it's like a little bit of a different topic, a little bit of a different discussion or whatever. But I'm going to run down the top 5 reasons why black American men should not respect black American women. And like I said, the bonus one is the fact that black women want respect. However, they don't feel that they have to give respect, period. Okay, that's the bonus. But the 5 are, number 1, and I'm going to break them down after I just say what they are. Number 1 is what happened in the first 3 quarters, I would say, of the 20th century. Actually, no, as a matter of fact, I'm going to say what happened at the start of the 20th century, so 1900 until now, 2018. Okay. Number 2, the whole black men are gay, uneducated, dead, or in jail talking points. Number 3, don't march or protest for these N-words. When black men die by police violence, etc., a lot of black women will say, don't march or protest for these N-words. Literally, that's what I've seen and read it and heard black women say it a bunch of different times. Number 4, ghetto gaggers. Number 5, the fact black women are asking whether or not they should respect black men in the first place. The simple fact that black women dare to ask this question, should we respect black men? Forget the ones who might say, yes, we should. The fact that the question is being posed at all, it says everything you need to know about black women in a nutshell. So let's start with the first one. In the 20th century, we had to go through the civil rights era, segregation, just et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So many things. There's so much crap that black people have had to face in America, right? So, in my opinion, and I talked about this before over the years in YouTube videos, I personally believe, and I have evidence to prove it, which I saved over the years, black women just wanted access to wags, white ass and genitals. It seems like black women back in the day, had white fever. Even more, I don't know if they had it more then or more now. I just thought of something. Hopefully I'll remember to mention that after I say this. I mean, if you go back to Diane Carroll, for example, a woman back in the day when allegedly black women just weren't checking for white men. And that's what they say. I mean, we could talk about Lovings versus Virginia, but come on now. When that man went and married that girl and everything, the one who doesn't identify as quote unquote black, but we're not going to discuss that because remember, black women can always just say, well, she didn't identify as black. She identified as Native American or alien or Native alien or alien American or whatever. So she didn't even identify as black meat, so you can't use her. Okay, let's talk about these black women like the Diane Carrolls of the world. Didn't this woman get married to I think she got married 4 times, but one of the men was actually black, which was, of course, Robert De Leon, who was the managing editor of Jet magazine. But, he was killed in a car crash 2 years after they got married. Really weird and suspect, but yeah, I really want to say a lot, but I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one real quick. But basically, married to, if I'm not mistaken, 3 different white men. Out of those 4 marriages, of course, the black one died a couple years after marrying her in a car crash. Really weird stuff. But anyways, I'm not gonna take it there in this particular video. Maya Angelou, she married. I've seen conflicting things on the internet that she was married 3 times or 2 times, but I know she was definitely married to 2 white men. Yeah, Maya Angelou. I'm sorry. Margaret Annie Johnson, aka Maya Angelou. The last name Angelo, however you pronounce it, was taken from one of the men that she was married to. So that wasn't even her last name. Let me see. What was the guy's name? The guy's name was Tosh. Was it Tosh Angelos? So, I mean, they were only married for like 3 years anyway. So, But anyways, and women like Angela Davis. Isn't she with, I think she's with a white woman at this point. The point is, these women and many more were right there when black men were having dogs sicked on them and fire hoses put on them. And, they couldn't wait to get to that wags and that white ass and genitals. They had their bottles of syrup just ready to just. Anyways, I don't even want to describe it. But the point is this, though, man. During a time, if you were around during that time period, if that's all that you had on your brain, then just like the Cypress Hills song goes, insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. Anyways, so you had black women going back to then and even before then, running around looking to bite themselves a white bone. It's really interesting. It lets you know that the negress was never on your side. Number 2, the whole black men are uneducated, gay, dead, or in jail mythological talking points. ABC had released some video or whatever, back, I think it was 2008, where Steve Harvey of all people, sat down with a group of black women who were single. And, it was one of those, where are the quality single brothers at? Stupid discussions, right? Another one of those. Actually, this was the one that kind of like really, really was supposed to put the nail in the coffin for black men. And since it didn't work, that's why all of these other articles like are black men, the white people of the black community or whatever, just stupid stuff about black men being just so oppressive towards black women, as if the modern day black American woman knows what it's like to be oppressed. Actually, the reason why black American women are running amok now is because they're just doing whatever they want. They're relying on their own devices, their own dysfunctional brains, and they're not being punished for what they say or what they do. So the fact that they could just run around and just do whatever they want, like a teenager left without their parents at home, they're just wreaking havoc, and that's why we have to have stupid discussions like this one. So and I made a video about Kenya Moore back in 2015. If you just typed in, I don't know, Meat Magazine, Kenya Moore, black men, I guess the video should pop up on YouTube. If you can't find it, just ask for it in the comments. Say, Meat, where is your Kenya Moore black men video? And, just ask me in the comments, okay? But you got to say it like that so I'll know what you're talking about. 'Cause I'll mess around and forget everything I just said in 5 minutes from now. What was I just saying? So Kenya Moore, according to Hello Beautiful, they posted an article a few years ago. Here's what they said. What's the best thing about dating outside your race? As we know, Kenya Moore is married now. Remember, this is like 3 years ago. Kenya Moore said, for black women, we just have to be open because there's not a lot of eligible bachelors that are black for us to choose from anymore. If you take away the ones that are gay in jail, this is a real issue. Statistics show why we don't have the choices. You take the ones that are gay, in jail, don't have a job, the ones that are already married, and the ones that are dating and marrying outside our race. What do you have left? You don't have much to choose from. The nicest thing is that you have options. Now, come on now. This has to be one of the dumbest things that I've ever read in my entire life. I mean, first of all, because like, for example, when they did the whole program with ABC talking about black women not having eligible black men to choose from, they show like this graphic of like I guess it was supposed to represent 100% of black women and 100% of black men, and then they just started shaving down the numbers, and based off of different points, like the black men who were gay, the black men who were in jail, the black men who are already married or whatever, just started running down the list. They did not take the number of black women and reduce their population by the same criteria or by the criteria that black men have chosen as a way to subtract the unwanted black women from the dating pool. They said 100% of black women, and here, if we take all these different types of black men who are in these different situations, these different scenarios, here's what you're left with. But they did not reduce those female numbers as well. So it was all propaganda, because it doesn't make any sense. And I would say the same thing if they did that with black men. So, if you're even a little bit bright, you're going to ask yourself this question. How many people are actually in jail in America, right? So this is from Wikipedia under United States incarceration rate, okay? It says in 2016, the Prison Policy Initiative estimated that in the United States, about 2,298,300 people were incarcerated out of a population of 323.1 million. This means that 0.71% of the population was behind bars. In other words, less than 1% of the freaking American population, less than 1%. So anytime you hear a black woman talking about all the black men are in jail, she's lying or just doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. Either way, her information is factually incorrect. Another thing that's brought up is the whole black men being gay thing. It's estimated like maybe 3% of the population is gay maximum, maybe 3%. Less than 1% of the American population is in jail. So it can't be these things can't be the problem. So, and then she also mentioned, black men not having a job. We've heard that one over and over again. But the truth of the matter is that there's people who are added to those quote unquote statistics. They're said to not have a job, but they may be living off of an inheritance, money that they saved, or, there may be some other sort of reason, some other sort of answer for why they're quote unquote unemployed, even though they don't need to be employed in the traditional way for some sort of reason. Also, those statistics, if I'm not mistaken, include people who can't be employed because they're in a wheelchair. You know, they may be disfigured, something like that, to where the mentally ill, just people that are of course unemployed. If I'm not mistaken, they just throw just everybody pretty much in there, except for maybe the incarcerated. I depending on the alleged statistics, they may or may not include that. But anyways, this whole black men are dead, gay, or in jail talking points that aren't true, that are all full of crap. But the reason why black women were running around saying that on TV and the white man's media, letting everybody know, hey, Chinese man, white man, etc. Look, I'm gonna throw black men under the bus, and you know, we're not even gonna look into whether or not what we're saying has any validity to it. We're just gonna just put all of this information out there, throw it up in black men's faces, try to make them look as bad as possible, point fingers at black men, wave our fingers and move our heads from side to side like a snake, and just be evil. Just with pointless jargon, just a bunch of talking. And of course, in the mainstream media, they were never checked for saying those things. So my third point is the whole don't march or protest for these N-words. Now, if you never heard of this, basically, when a black man gets killed by the police or something like that, a lot of black women, usually I see this online, but I've heard it on, I guess, like radio talk shows or whatever. Black women saying things like, basically encouraging other black women to not march or protest for black men when they've been gunned down, usually by the police, but dying in general. Don't worry about or care about black men dying. You might be saying to yourself, well, Meat, you said this plenty of times in the comments as well as in videos and on blogs. Marching and protesting is stupid. It's just a little workout for these women. They're not helping to save black men's lives. They do that for themselves. It has nothing to do with saving black men's lives. If they really wanted to do that, they would stop dating thugs. That would save black men's lives, because they would say, wait a second, I can't get women by acting like a retarded fool. Well, I'm not going to do this, because whatever men do at the end of the day is to get themselves a piece of puss anyway. Everything a man does. I woke up this morning. I brushed my teeth. I put this new shirt on. I went out and got a job. Everything is to get a woman at the end of the day. So the fact that these thugs, including these men, there was this one guy who killed I don't know how many people. He was in jail. He's like some sort of gang leader, you know, most black American women's type. And he, if I'm not mistaken, he slept with 4 black female prison guards unprotected, got them all pregnant, serving time for murder. So when I tell you black women have a preference, a very stupid one. But anyways, you got these black women saying when these black men die by the hands of the police, you know, don't march or protest for them. Now, while marching and protesting is just stupid, it's just completely pointless, other than just drawing attention to yourself. And Tommy Sotomayor already told you that black women love DNA, taking attention, right? So at the end of the day, you might be saying to yourself, well, what is your gripe with them saying don't march or protest for these dead N-words? The reason why is because the intent behind it. They're basically using that as basically it's all about manipulation. They're like, look, us marching and protesting is saving black men's lives, which is not. And we're going to stop doing this for them, which is basically their way of saying we hate black men so much, we don't care if they die. And we're going to go out and promote this ideology to other black women. We're going to say, hey, let's all get together and stop marching and protesting for black men when they die. And that'll teach these N-words, you know, because the black men should basically kiss their behind, and that should just be that. You know, you never question a black woman. You never hold her accountable for anything. You never blame her for anything. It doesn't matter what she did. You know, no matter what she does, it's always your fault. You always have to take the blame for it. Because if you N-words would have just, if you would have just done this, if you would have just done that, then hey, you know, like this black women right now, like, look, if black men just get their stuff together, then we'll start acting right. The reason why we're acting fools is because black men just don't have their stuff together. So once you guys get your stuff together, we'll get in line. Can you believe? Literally, I've heard multiple black women say that crap. Like, that's nothing but sheer narcissism and insanity. But like I said, as long as they're not going to be punished for their actions, they're going to continue to run amok. Number 4 is Ghetto Gaggers. What is Ghetto Gaggers? Ghetto Gaggers is an adult website which features white men committing racist acts. And it's a smut website. So they're screwing the black women, but they're also doing things like putting their phallus in the black woman's throat, making her throw up in a bowl, like a dog bowl, and then they'll like pour it on top of her head and, smack her and, sodomize her. It's multiple white men engaging in sex with her. Just it's a bunch of just sheer ridiculousness. It's way worse than how I just described it off the top of my head. But the fact that so few black women have spoken about it, and it's so funny. I made a video recently. If you just type in Meat Magazine Ghetto Gaggers, the video should pop up. But basically, I just found the article, was it April 2018? But it was written back in 2012 by Karen Civil. And, it's a shame because she ended up turning the argument right around to black men, which, it's so funny because I was so happy to see that a black woman, wrote an article at all about Ghetto Gaggers, man. I was so I don't want to use the word surprised, but startled, I guess I should say, by the fact that I didn't even peep. Rather, I didn't take the time to go read it before I made my video. So I was reacting to it like live. And she says something towards the end of her article about how she was like on, I guess she was on Twitter on her timeline. And she saw stuff about like the George Zimmerman thing that was going on. Because remember, this is back in 2012, among other things that were being talked about. And as she scrolled down, she saw some black man joking about a black woman. And she said something about how black men were once the allies against a racist nation and despicable injustice. So she was saying that black men used to be aligned with black women, but the fact that a black man joked on her Twitter timeline, I guess that was evidence that black men and black women are not together. So I guess black men are never supposed to say anything about black women. They're never supposed to joke about black women either. Like, how dare you? Because of course, black men owe black women everything, according to the insane Negress. But yeah, black women don't typically talk about Ghetto Gaggers. So that's the number 4 reason why black men should just not respect black women. Like, what Ghetto Gaggers is and what it represents, instead of black women trying to find something negative to say about black men, which they constantly, consistently do, with all of these different root articles, as well as articles just around the internet and whatnot, the different radio shows, the different TV shows, etc. Black women are constantly looking just for more negative things to say, more negative things to think about black men. It just needs to be this constant refueling of this gasoline to burn black men over and over again. Always gaslighting black men. And Ghetto Gaggers is just a prime example of black women taking something that white men are doing against black women and turning around and blaming black men. And then and that's when you're lucky enough to find one to speak about it at all. They're turning it around on black men, of course, because some black man told a joke about a black woman on Twitter. The number 5 reason why black men should not respect black women is the fact that black women are daring to ask whether or not they should respect black men in the first place. And what a lot of black men don't realize about the fact that we're having this discussion is the simple fact that black women have pretty much ran out of stupid things to say about black men, to the point now where they're like, you know what? We've pretty much ran down the list. It's 2018. Is there anything else that we can say to or about black men? Is there anything else that we can use against them? I mean, one of the more recent ones is the whole quoting Malcolm X thing. The black woman is the most disrespected and least protected person in America, which of course we know that black men are actually the most disrespected and the least protected. And black children as well. It's pretty bad, but black women always put themselves first, even before their children. Excuse me, almost always. Most. Because I don't want anybody saying anything dumb like, not all, you can't say all. I heard a video of a black woman earlier, from a black woman, and she did the whole not all thing, and I wanted to kick my freaking screen. I was like, here they go with the not all thing again. Like, oh freaking God. If I hear another black woman say not all, oh, I'm just gonna take all of the poop in the world and just pour it on her head. But then again, they would like that. Well, if a white man did it, they would like it. But anyways, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. But basically, black women have come to the point, black American women have come to the conclusion that they pretty much ran out of all negative things that they can say about black men. So they're like, you know what? How about we just throw the last one out there? Now, we all know that we don't respect black men, and the world knows it by now. We definitely gone on every mainstream media format and expressed our negativity and our hatred for black men. So they were like, you know what? How about this? How about we ask a really dumb question? Should we respect black men? Should we? I mean, you're one disrespectful, nasty person, a really evil person, somebody who can't be fixed, somebody who can't be redeemed. You've crossed that point of whether or not God should forgive you when you say something just so disrespectful. But it's something beyond disrespect. It's downright. It's something beyond disgusting as well. It's blasphemous. Should we respect black men? Black women have really gotten to that point where they're now asking a question like that. And they think that it's perfectly acceptable for an adult to ask a question like that. I mean, the fact that you're asking it at all proves that we shouldn't respect you. Anyway, once again, from 1 to 5. Number 1, during the civil rights era, during, Jim Crow, all of these different things that were going on, black women wanted WAG, white ass and genital access. And, that's number 1. It doesn't matter what's going on. It doesn't matter whether or not a black man is hanging next to a tree right next to her. She'll grab that white man's hand and say, good work. Number 2, black men are uneducated, gay, dead, or in jail. That stupid talking points list. Number 3, don't march or protest for these N-words, because that's what they call us. They don't call us men a lot of times. They call us N-words, even in their songs. Hell, Tia Marie had a song back in, I think it was like 2006, where she kept saying the N-word so many times. I was just like, what the hell? It was so offensive to me. Anyways, number 4, Ghetto Gaggers. That disgusting adult website where they degrade black women constantly. Well, that's basically the purpose of it. And it's basically a white man's fetish, and black women just sit back and they don't have anything to say. They have, for the most part, they completely ignore it. Now they talk about what black guys are saying in rap music and all this other foolishness, but y'all can't talk about ghetto gaggers. Ghetto gaggers should be discussed in the mainstream media. The fact that it's not being discussed, even barely on YouTube. All these black women making hair videos and videos about celebrities and videos about white supremacy. Let me say like Cynthia G. White supremacy. And about swirling like the girl who swirls. Crystal and Kerosene. Black and white. Beyond black and white. Come get this pink pill. Learn how to get yourself a white man. But y'all can't talk about ghetto gaggers. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a video of Crystalline or one of these other heifers on there. I honestly would not be surprised. Some long lost tape. Some grainy VHS tape. When all types of noise in the video feed pops up and they raise the camera up from the floor. Rather, they pan up and they're like, hey, what's your name, pretty lady? It's the girl that swirls. Oh, I can't wait to puke in this bowl and have it poured on my head by a white man. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Shout out to Kristen Carrison. Bless her heart. Anyways, number 5, the fact that black women are even asking the question, the fact that they're posing the question in the first place, whether or not they should respect black men. You nasty ninnies. You narcissisters. You narcissistic sisters. Anyways, man. I hate nigglets. That's all I got for y'all Negroes today. Long live the white woman. And I'm just let me stop being stupid, y'all. No, but seriously, man. Shout out to all the beautiful women out there. I just realized something. I don't have a picture or pictures to use for this video, so I have to figure out what the hell am I going to put with this video. As a matter of fact, I'll be right back. Let me think about this for a quick second. Who is the shadiest Negro of them all? I'm going to use the stock photo, the same one that Isadora Storm uses. Now, Isadora Storm, I just left a comment on her video earlier. She's a bedwench, and she's one of the light-skinned variety, and she's having some issues with the darkies right now. You know, if you've ever dealt with black women, of course, the most vocal and the most aggressive of the niggers is usually the dark-skinned niggers. And so yeah, and I know this is gonna bother people that I'm saying what I'm saying, but I don't really care. You know, I gotta be me. I gotta do what I gotta do, you know. Look, man, what the hell? On that video I left a comment on, right? On that, Isadora Storm is using the name Light Skin Tears. And she made a video called Light Skin Privilege Exercise Number 1, Light Skin Tears, hashtag Black Twitter. She's talking about how she wants for light-skinned women to embrace their quote-unquote privilege or whatever. She said, exercise number 1, make a list of advantages that dark-skinned blacks have. I am interested in things that impact the black community today in 2018. You know, she thinks she's outsmarting the darkies. Why this successful celeb news, that bedwench? Why did she come to the comment section talking about some, yes, oh my God, we are the only ones guilted. Very true. For what are we sacrificing ourselves? Very true. For what are we sacrificing ourselves? Was that in the Bible? Anyways, it's never enough, damn, laughing out loud. So I said to Successful Celeb News, I said, so you're one of those pretend light skins. Sad. Delusion is a hell of a drug. If you've ever seen this woman before, she's obviously brown skinned. She's not light skinned. Oh my God. But anyways, y'all, you know, before I start cussing, what do you guys think about my top 5 reasons for why black men do not, rather should not, respect black women? I should have added on there brown skinned women pretending to be light skinned. And light-skinned trolls like Isadora Storm running around using stock photos from Pexel. You know what, though? Let me stop, man. Let me stop. All right, nigglets. Let me know what y'all think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channels. Visit Meat Magazine, not blogspot.com for more. Follow me on Twitter at Meat Magazine, Meat Magazine 7 on Google+, Meat Magazine blog on Instagram. Hit that notification button. It's right next to the subscribe button. It looks like a bell. Once you click that button, you'll be sent alerts to be notified when new videos get posted. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe, click the notification button. If you see anybody running around social media claiming Meat Magazine is a blogger, please let me know. It's not true. They're a liar and the devil. I'm Action Entertainer. I'm nowhere near on the level of entertainment as the delusional and untruthful voices inside of black women's heads. However, I am an entertainer nevertheless. You know, a lot of black females have imaginary friends. You know, they be talking to spirits or whatever, like Azalea Banks out there killing chickens in her chicken killing closet. And then the chicken spirits come back and start talking to you. They be like, You know, and these women just be sitting there talking to it, talking to this goddamn chicken apparition. You know, look, man, talking to Goose Ghost. But listen, this is the thing, man. I really gotta go, man. I gotta smash one of my haters' mamas. They waiting. She waiting with them butt cheeks lubed up. But all right, nigglets. You know what? Let me just go. I gotta smash one of my haters' mamas. Bed winches ain't.